And we've been bringing you all the action. It's been a very exciting game, except for the it has been a spectacular game. Going into this fourth quarter, it was tied up 23-all. Curtis Tanqueri, a 80-yard rushing touchdown. And then Dominique DeBoer, 2 interceptions. Both ran back for touchdowns. And that's where we stand right now, with Pioneer leading by 21 points, and with a pretty secure lead in this game. And it looks like the players are about to come back out onto the field as they are warm and have stretched out a little. And I'm wondering how the refs are judging this on, when they are going to call back the players. Pioneer continues to run from the 40 down into the end zone and back to keep themselves warm. And it looks like Leigh High School is ready, and they are sending out an offensive unit on the field. So if it were to go right now, Pioneer would be called for too many men on the field, because every man is on the field. And I don't know if that's 62 yards, like the amount of players on the team, or what. But yes, so I don't know why I had to say that.
No, that was good. That was good.
Thank you very much. So Pioneer doing their last couple of rushing, of warm-up laps, a couple of guys stretching on the sideline, as it is chilly here, but it has been a beautiful night. We've avoided the rain. Our local weatherman, Mr. Hively, has been patiently watching the stream.
Yep.
As he's been watching the radar application on his iPhone, updating us, as we have seemed to found a hole in the cloudy, in the storm that's coming in. And we have been blessed with beautiful weather, just a little chilly on this homecoming night, 50th anniversary night. And just a reminder, our next radio broadcast, it won't be next week as they go to Santa Teresa on Saturday, but it will be live right here November 12th. As Andrew Hill comes into town. So we are back here in 2 weeks, November 12th, Andrew Hill in town. We're excited to bring you all the action. You are ready to go here. 1st and 10, ball on the 29-yard line, going right to left, as Gabe Davis drops back to pass, and he throws a nice, quick pass. Corey Keeney catching it on the outside, and he is dropped for a gain of 6 yards, as Leigh is going right to left. They have the ball at their own 36-yard line, 2nd and 3, 3:30 and counting remaining here. Gabe Davis, the sophomore quarterback, takes the shotgun snap. He looks left and beams one. Keeney again at the 50 to the 45 to the 40, cuts back to the 30, and is finally hit and tackled at the 29-yard line. He zigzagged back and forth on that one, and finally Adil Sharkey getting the tackle, as well as Dominique DeBoer getting in there. The player of the game is going back and forth here. Dominique DeBoer obviously put this game out of reach with that interception to the house, and then the other interception to the house, as Gabe Davis takes a snap. He looks right and throws it down the sideline, and it is picked off. Coming up, is that James Manriquez?
Looks like it.
I think it is. Coming up, bouncing off of his wide receiver. That pass was intended for Larry Donald, and James Manriquez coming off of his player and reading that one like a book and intercepting that one, pulling it down. Pioneer stranglehold, game over. 3 minutes left.
Should be.
All they need is a couple first downs.
Just got to run out the clock now.
I'd say 2 first downs in this game is all but wrapped up. And remember, next week they will be at Santa Teresa for an afternoon game on Saturday. And then we will be back live right here for our final broadcast of this football season on November 12th versus Andrew Hill, as Pioneer High School has all but wrapped this one up. They're up by 21, 44 to 23, 3 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. 1st and 10, ball on their own 5-yard line. And if they can run 7 minutes off the clock, they can run 3 minutes off the clock. As they send a man in motion, it's a dive play straight up the gut, banging his way. Is that Mr. Gezzi? I think it is.
Yep.
Going straight up the gut and finally getting tackled at about the 14-yard line, moving those chains, and that's a 1st down.
Oh, well, it's really all you need to do is hand it to your big boys up the middle, just run down the clock. You can see the closure in this game. I mean, Leigh, they had a nice drive going, but you can just see the body, body language.
So 3 interceptions now for Pioneer Mustangs. So Gabe Davis has now thrown 7 on the season, I believe. As the handoff is to Sean Nelson, who's around the right side, cuts it back to the left, and is finally hit and upended at the 21-yard line. A pickup of about 7 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 3, and that clock continues to run here. We're coming up on 2 minutes, 2:08 and counting, as that clock is running. 2nd and 10, or excuse me, 2nd and 3. Ball at the 22-yard line. Pioneer leading by 21 in this one, this homecoming night. A beautifully chilly night, if that's possible. You can imagine what I'm saying, a beautifully chilled night. It's been very nice. Steven Contreras checking in at wide receiver on the near side as the man in motion is Tank Query, and it's a handoff to Matt Nguyen, who tries going, David Gabriel taking the dive straight up the middle, and he gets a 1st down, moving those chains. 1:30 as the clock stops while the chains move, but there it is going to start up again. So 1:30 and counting as Pioneer looking to wrap this one up. A beautifully played game on both sides of the ball. Offense, defense, offensive possession, defensive turnovers, 3 interceptions, and a fantastic performance all around from this coach, from Coach Perry's team. With 1:12 and counting, Pioneer looking to just eat up the clock and go home with the victory and improve to 2-6 on the season. As they look to me like they're going to take a knee, and this game is going to be over.
Well, you talk about the Dominic DeBoers and the Curtis Tanqueries and the Ronald Gezzis of the game, but I really think the key tonight is the sophomore quarterback, Drew Freihoff. He comes in, first start, completely calm, cool, collected, all the C's, and just looked like he had done it a million times before. He came out, made no mistakes, got the ball handed off. I think that was the key, only 1 turnover for Pioneer. That was very early in the game, but after that they kept it together, led by their young quarterback Freihoff, and they get a huge win on homecoming night. And just
this
great all-around game.
You got that right. This game is over as the rain starts to fall here, right on cue. Thank you very much. The heavens have opened up, and we can start the rain as it didn't rain on our parade tonight, as your Pioneer Mustangs take a big win over the rival Leigh Longhorns with a big score of 44-23, and that is the end of the game with the final score, Pioneer Mustangs 44 and the visiting Leigh Longhorns 23. We'll be back in just a minute with the wrap-up, so stay tuned with us. You're listening to Mustang Football on Pioneer Radio 89.3 The Stampede.
Before children can learn music, they need some basic necessities: food, clean water, health care, and music teachers around the country are working to help make that possible for victims of disasters. MENC, the National Association for Music Education, will help the charity Feed the Children deliver food, medicine, and clothing to families affected by events like Hurricane Katrina. MENC aims to raise more than $1 million to support the international charity. The 100-year-old organization of school music teachers chose the charity because it is one of the first responders in times of crisis. Feed the Children received a 4-star rating from Charity Navigator, a charity evaluator, and was approved by other watchdog groups. $140 delivers 1,000 pounds of food. For more information about this relief effort or Music in Our Schools Month, call 1-800-336-3768 or visit www.menc.org. This public service announcement was brought to you by KMTG San Jose 89.3 The Stampede.
This is Mustang football on Pioneer High School's very own radio station, KMTG San Jose 89.3 The Stampede.
Welcome back, Pioneer Mustang Stadium, as we have witnessed a fantastic game tonight. Homecoming, 50th anniversary of your Pioneer High School, as we have had a fantastic game. Couldn't have been a better celebration. We've had Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's been an absolutely fabulous month, and a great way to wrap up this chilly October is with a nice warm victory like that.
Yep.
And Pioneer showed what we've kind of been waiting for all season.
Absolutely.
They ran the ball, which is something that I know Coach Perry wants to do.
Yep.
He wants to run the ball consistently, and you know, it seems sometimes like all the time, as you know, but they did mix it up. They ran and ran and ran and ran, and then, you know, with the sophomore quarterback, they didn't put too much pressure on him.
Not at all.
Play action passes that set up nice, easy 5-yard completions to build that confidence. And Pioneer improved to 2-6 on the back of Curtis Tanquary and Dominique DeBoer tonight.
Well, I mean, you know, a lot of people have been questioning Coach Perry and why is this guy the coach? What is he doing? He knows what he's doing out there. He's done this for 11 years, or at least been a defensive coordinator for 11 years.
Yep.
He knows the team. He knows football, and he's got that sort of Chicago Bears, '85 Bears flavor to this team. Just pound the ball and shut him down on defense, and that's what they did tonight. 3 picks. 2 returned to the house by Dominique DeBoer. Curtis Tanquary, what else can we say about him this season? He's really done it all. And broke an 80-yard touchdown run. Drew Freihoff, no pressure tonight. All he had to do was hand it off and threw a few very nice passes. All around, just a great game for the Pioneer Mustangs.
So Pioneer improving to 2-6 on the season. Leigh Longhorns falling to 1-7. It was a hard-fought game. The score does not show that.
No, absolutely.
At least not as much as, I mean, 21 points. If you came into this game at the start of the fourth quarter, it was all knotted up at 23 apiece. Pioneer, you know, just really stepped it up defensively, I think, most of all. They have been dominated the past couple weeks as far as scoreboard goes, and it looks like just a reversal of fortune, a reversal of fate, and they did to others what has been done to them on defensive side.
Oh, yeah.
And they just, you know, Dominique DeBoer, obviously player of the game. But Curtis Tanquary, you can't say enough about him.
You gotta
2 touchdowns.
Can you split the game MVP trophy in half? Because
Sure.
I think you really need to and give it to both of these guys.
I'd say offensive MVP,
There you go.
Tanquary, defensive
Perfect.
team, Dominique DeBoer,
Perfect.
and then the ceiling of the deal, so to speak. Leigh was driving down the field, you know, almost untouched at the end there, and James Manriquez getting in there, icing on the cake.
Yep.
I like frosting myself, and he put the frosting on the cake, and it was a fantastic finish here. So that's going to do it for us here from Mustang Stadium. Please join us for our next football broadcast on KMTG 89.3, November 12th versus Andrew Hill, right here at Pioneer Mustang Stadium. Our pregame show goes on the air at 6:45. Kickoff is at 7. Until then, this is John Deeney from Matt Hively. Our in-studio engineer is Mr. David Ashby, and our broadcast producer is Mr. Dietz Marcello. So saying so long from Mustang Stadium in San Jose, California, with the final score, your Pioneer Mustangs 44, the visiting Leigh Longhorns 23. Good night, everybody.
89.3, The Stampede. Do you have a spinal cord injury? Are you or someone you know trying to adjust to life in a wheelchair? Throughout United Spinal Association's history, our core belief has been, despite a spinal cord injury or disorder, a full and rewarding life is possible and within the reach of anyone with the strength to believe it and the courage to make it happen. Join United Spinal and share our mission. visit www.unitedspinal.org. This public service announcement brought to you by KMTG, San Jose, 89.3, The Stampede.